Hello everyone, welcome to Move Well, Live Well. We get a number of people that come in here who are in an exercise program and they're doing push-ups. And today I'm going to go through the 5 biggest mistakes that we see when these people are doing push-ups. So that way you have an idea of what they're doing wrong, and that way you can do the push-up correctly, because it's a fantastic exercise, a total body exercise that emphasizes the upper body, especially the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps. So, join me, shall you? So the first mistake that we see is elbow flare. So what the heck is elbow flare? Well, when they're doing a push-up, I'm gonna face this way so you can kind of see this angle here. When they're doing a push-up, their elbows, I'm gonna do kind of with my knees on the ground with this, so that way you guys can see what's going on. So when they're doing a push-up, their elbows are flaring out like this. You see that? They're flaring out like this. And you can kind of see right here in a side view, you see the elbows flaring out, and the upper arm, or excuse me, the humerus, the upper arm bone is pretty much in line with the shoulders. Now, these folks may not have problems now in the shoulders, but putting elbows flaring out like this and with the upper arm in line with the shoulder, this puts your shoulder in a compromised position, and over time you can end up with problems like impingement syndrome or rotator cuff issues, even leading to a rotator cuff tear. So you don't want that. So this is the problem. Again, elbows flaring out and the upper arm in line with the shoulder. So how do you fix that? How do you fix elbow flare? Well, you want to take, they're a little too wide with their push-up. You want to go shoulder width or slightly wider than shoulder width for the push-up. And then what you want to do, you can kind of see here in the video, you want to externally rotate. You see that? Boom. Externally rotate. And so now you can see the antecubital fossa, this fossa right here. That's what this is called. And you can see this little space, it's called the antecubital fossa. And instead of being on the inside, right, with the elbows going outward, you want them facing forward. See that? So it's almost like you're taking your hand and you're twisting it into the ground. See that? Boom. Look at my shoulder, it winds up, bam. And it creates a stable platform in my shoulder to push from. So instead of being out here, you're in here. See that? Boom. And now I can do my push-up in here. See that? On the side view, I'm doing my push-up. Instead of out here like this, I wind up. See, now my elbow is facing behind me. See that? Boom. My elbow is facing behind me. And then I do my push-up. Boom. And you can see how the difference between this and this. So, get rid of that elbow flare. Learn to externally rotate the shoulders, wind up the shoulders so that where they're in a nice, good, stable position to push from, and you can eliminate problems in your shoulders now and later on in the future. So, that's the first mistake that we see. The second mistake we see when people are doing their push-ups is the head bob. They do this number, see? So when they're doing their push-up, they do this as they're doing their push-up. So here they are, they're like this, right here. And when they're doing their push-up, I'm gonna do them on my knees so that way you guys can, I can demonstrate this a lot more frequently here. Because, otherwise I get tired too, So here you are, they're like this. And then they're doing the head bob. They jut their chin forward like this, to kind of in a vain attempt to reach the ground, if you will. And then they're, so they're here like this. and they kind of do this. Okay? See that? They do that head bob. Now, they might not have neck problems now, but later down the road, they're going to start having neck problems because, you know, let's face it, we sit way too much and we're already in this kind of position all day long with our computers, our devices, our reading, whatever it is. And so what we want to do, we want to create a stable and neutral neck, neutral spine. We're going to get to the whole spine here in just a sec, but a neutral neck. So I usually tell folks I cue them with, imagine there's a fist. Your fist is in between right here, the top of your sternum and your chin. See that? And you're not letting your chin tuck in and jut forward. Like this, see? You're keeping that space right there, and you're keeping your head back as you do it. So you're keeping that chin back as you do it. So, you're in the push-up position here, and instead of jutting your head forward, as you do this, you're going to keep that head neutral. You're going to keep that fist-sized space between the chin and your chest, and here you are. Boom. 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 And my neck stays neutral the entire time. I'm not doing this and creating all kinds of problems with my neck later on in the future. So that's the second biggest problem that we see with the push-up. The third biggest problem we see when people are doing their push-ups is protraction or excessive protraction of the shoulder. I'm going to demonstrate here. So when you're doing the push-up, here they are, they're like this. And again, here's a good push-up for you. Just right here, so you can see my feet right here. So externally rotated there, head's nice and neutral, and you're coming down, and you're going to do a push-up. What a lot of folks do, sometimes if they don't have enough strength, what they'll do is they'll compensate for that lack of strength, and they'll do their push-ups like this. See that? They kind of do this. And they're thinking that this is kind of like a push-up, or they'll throw their elbows out, which we already discussed. But you see this right here? And they're thinking that this is a push-up. Look at my elbows, they're not even moving. And so all they're doing, essentially all they're doing is this. And that's kind of like their push-up, which it's a great exercise in and of itself, protraction and retraction of the shoulder to help strengthen, the serratus anterior, that muscle group, for instance. But it really is not a push-up. So here they are, they're doing this, and they're thinking that's pushing up when really all you're doing is just bringing your shoulder blades together and bringing them forward. That's all you're doing. So stop doing that. Get into that nice, stable, externally rotated shoulder position. Boom. Right there. And then go into your push-up. Boom. And that's it. So externally rotated. Here. Go into your push-up. And eliminate this thing. See that? So that's the third biggest mistake we see is protraction, excessive protraction of the shoulder. The fourth biggest mistake that we see when people are doing their push-ups is excessive lumbar extension. And what does that mean? So here they are, they're doing their push-up. There's a side view here. They're doing their push-up, and you can see my low back. I got this. Everybody has a little bit of a lumbar curve. See that right here in the low back. And when they're doing their push-up, what we see, one of the mistakes they do is they let this boom. They're in here like this. See that? Boom. And now you're kind of in this extended, weird position as they do their push-up. See that? This is a better angle right here. So, see that? I'm just letting my whole pelvis kind of sink forward like this, kind of like I'm doing like a weird cobra kind of push-up thing, And so this low back is just dumped forward like this in this extended position, and they're doing their push-ups in here like this, okay? So, how do you fix that? How do you fix that excessive lumbar extension? What you do is you cue posterior pelvic tilt. So, what the heck's a posterior pelvic tilt? So, I'm gonna go into that excessive lumbar extension here, boom, just like that. And a posterior pelvic tilt is just that. I'm going to contract the glutes and the muscles in the front, the abdomen, see that? See that low back is extended like that, excessive curve. And now I'm going to contract the abs and the glute, boom. And now that curve is flattened out in more of a neutral position. And now I can do my push-up in a more neutral spine. See that? This versus that. So, posterior pelvic tilt. If you want to practice it, you can practice it while you're, let's say you're in a plank or something like that. You got people in this position here in the extended position. What you do, a posterior pelvic tilt, you are contracting the abs, squeezing the glutes, and you can kind of see, boom. See that lumbar spine goes into a nice neutral position, and it engages that transition from the upper body to the lower body. It tightens everything up and through here, so you don't have two different areas. You don't have that sinking in the middle where your low back is. So again, instead of here, you're going to go into a posterior pelvic tilt, just like that. Boom. Now, that is a nice neutral low back. Prevent low back issues later on in the future. That way when you're doing your push-ups, your low back doesn't hurt and you don't destroy it. That is the fourth biggest thing that we see. Biggest problem we see when people are doing their push-ups. Last but not least, this is the fifth biggest problem we see. Now these problems, they're in no particular significance or order. I did ordered 1 through 5. There's no particular significance to their order. But we see these problems, and this is the fifth one, partial reps. Now, what the heck are partial reps? Well, partial reps in and of themselves have a purpose. But for recreational athletes and the general public, you want to work in a full range of motion to increase strength and overall health of the muscles and the joints and your body that you're working. Now, there are techniques where partial reps are used to increase the intensity of the exercise or wherever it may be, but for the general purpose of fitness and overall health, use full range exercises, full range repetitions. As the saying goes, partial reps equals partial results. So, this is what they do. They'll go into their push-ups or whatever, and you see folks like this when they're doing their push-ups, and they'll be in here like this. Okay? Or they'll be way down here, and you'll see them kind of doing this. Okay? Now, if that's your goal, is to get strong in those small ranges, then by all means do so. But for the general public, for general overall health, strength, and fitness, use full range reps. So, doing the push-up. And here we go. All the way down. Chest touches the floor. All the way up. All the way down, chest touches the floor, all the way up. Okay? With all the cues that we just mentioned previously. So, use full range reps to get the full benefit of the exercise. Again, push-ups, they're a fantastic total body exercise that emphasizes the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps. But those are the 5 major mistakes that we see in no particular significant order. Anyway, if If you have any questions with this video, drop it off in the comment section below. We thank you for watching. We appreciate it. If you're new here, hit subscribe. And when you hit subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification button because that'll keep you in the loop with subsequent videos coming here in the near future. And that way you can continue to move well, live well. Also, I know you know folks, you've gone to the gym or you work out with folks and you see them doing these things, friends and family members. Share this with them. That way they can get the full benefit of what a push-up can actually do, so that way they can make it more effective and get to their fitness goals a lot sooner. So share this with them. Sharing is caring. Also, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. It lets us know you care. We thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.